You already know that the Chevrolet Colorado looks tough and works hard, but what you probably don't know is that there are 6 serious issues hiding beneath its capable exterior. If you're considering this truck, you need to know about things like limited configuration options and mounting reliability concerns that are frustrating current owners. With its familiar strengths, the Colorado is definitely a perfect fit for many buyers, but for the rest, let's reveal those 6 problems. Number 6. Depreciation hits harder than you'd expect. When you're investing in a mid-sized truck, you're probably thinking about long-term value. Here's where the Colorado starts to show some cracks. The reality is that this truck is going to lose value faster than several of its main competitors, and the numbers tell a story you need to hear before making your decision. Industry data reveals that after 3 years of ownership, the Colorado is retaining around 58 to 62% of its original value. Now, that might sound reasonable until you compare it with what's happening across the segment. The Toyota Tacoma, for instance, is holding on to approximately 70 to 73% of its value over the same period. The Jeep Gladiator is performing even better in certain markets, maintaining around 68 to 71% of its purchase price. Even the Honda Ridgeline is showing stronger residual values at roughly 65 to 67%. Think about what happens when you decide to trade in or sell after a few years. If you're purchasing a $45,000 Colorado today, you're potentially looking at losing $17,000 to $19,000 in value after 3 years. Compare that with a Tacoma buyer who might only see $12,000 to $13,500 evaporate over the same time frame. That's a difference of several $1,000s vanishing from your investment. What's driving this gap? The Colorado's common presence in fleet sales is working against it. When commercial fleets are cycling through these trucks regularly, the used market becomes saturated, which naturally pushes values downward. Second, the truck's reputation for mechanical issues is beginning to affect buyer confidence in the used market. But losing money on depreciation is just the beginning, because once you actually climb inside and start using it daily, you're going to discover another problem that's going to affect everyone who rides with you. Number 5. Cabin space falls short of expectations. The Colorado is arriving exclusively in crew cab configuration, which typically suggests a focus on passenger comfort. The reality inside this cabin is going to surprise you, and not in a good way. Despite what the exterior dimensions might suggest, the interior space is proving to be one of the truck's most significant compromises. The rear seat legroom is measuring out at around 35.8 inches, which sounds adequate on paper until you experience it in person. Adults sitting back there are going to find their knees getting uncomfortably close to the front seat backs. The headroom is coming in at roughly 38.4 inches, which has taller passengers feeling the ceiling pressing down on them. Now contrast this with what competitors are offering. The Jeep Gladiator is providing about 38.3 inches of rear legroom. The Honda Ridgeline takes things even further with a generous 40.9 inches of rear legroom. Even the Nissan Frontier is offering around 36.3 inches that still edges out the Colorado. So the passenger space is disappointing, but that's not even addressing the bigger problem lurking behind that cab, a cargo limitation that's going to affect how you actually use this truck for real work. Number 4. Short bed limitation restricts versatility. Here's where the Colorado's limited configuration strategy starts to reveal some serious practical drawbacks. The truck is arriving with just one bed length option, a 5'2" short bed, and for buyers who need genuine hauling capability, this is going to present real-world problems. That 5-foot bed isn't accommodating a full sheet of plywood or drywall without leaving the tailgate down. Construction materials, lumber runs, and even some recreational equipment are going to hang over the edge, requiring tie-downs and careful securing that adds hassle to every load. Both the Toyota Tacoma and Nissan Frontier are offering long bed variants that give buyers the choice to prioritize cargo capacity. These longer configurations are providing 6-foot beds that transform the truck's utility for work-focused buyers. GM's decision to skip the long bed option is forcing potential buyers to choose between the Colorado and competitors purely based on bed length. But the lack of bed options is just one part of a bigger pattern with this truck, a pattern of limited choices that extends under the hood as well. Number 3. Single powertrain approach limits buyer choice. Every Colorado is leaving the factory with the same 2.7-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, producing 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. While this engine delivers strong performance, the lack of alternatives is creating problems for different types of buyers. The power output is generous, and the torque delivery makes towing and acceleration feel confident. The max towing capacity reaches 7,700 pounds when properly equipped, putting it in competitive territory, but here's where the one-size-fits-all strategy falls apart. Fuel economy is sitting at around 19 miles per gallon city and 22 miles per gallon highway, which isn't thrilling for buyers who prioritize efficiency. There's no naturally aspirated base engine option for buyers who want simpler mechanics and lower maintenance complexity. Consider the buyer who just needs a reliable truck for light-duty work and daily commuting. You're essentially paying for turbocharged performance you don't need while watching your fuel costs climb higher than necessary. A simpler engine would cost less to maintain, require less frequent service, and deliver better fuel economy for your actual usage pattern. But the Colorado isn't giving you that choice. Toyota is offering multiple engine choices, including both low and high output turbocharged 4-cylinder and a hybrid option that delivers around 24 miles per gallon combined. Now, having just one engine option would be more forgivable if that engine proved to be bulletproof reliable, but that's where the Colorado runs into its next significant problem. Number 2. Reliability questions are mounting. The current generation Colorado is accumulating a troubling record of owner complaints and mechanical issues that are raising red flags about long-term dependability. For a segment where buyers expect their trucks to handle years of hard work without major problems, the Colorado is showing some concerning patterns. Transmission behavior has emerged as one of the most frequent complaint areas. Owners are reporting rough shifting, hesitation during acceleration, and occasional shuddering that suggests the 8-speed automatic isn't always communicating smoothly with that turbocharged engine. The electrical system is presenting another layer of frustration. Infotainment freezes, random warning lights, and occasional starting issues are appearing across owner forums with enough frequency to suggest these aren't isolated incidents. Some owners are reporting unusual noises from the turbocharged 4-cylinder, premature wear on certain components, and occasional check engine lights related to emission systems. Build quality observations are adding to the picture. Owners are noticing interior trim pieces that feel loose, doors that develop rattles over rough roads, and paint that seems more susceptible to chips. The Colorado is consistently scoring below competitors like the Tacoma and Ridgeline in long-term dependability predictions. So we've covered the single engine, the cramped cabin, the short bed only, but those individual limitations are all symptoms of a much larger problem that ties everything together. Number 1. Limited model range restricts your options. We've already covered the single powertrain, single bed length, and crew cab only configuration, but the Colorado's limitations extend even further when you examine the trim level strategy. The lineup is essentially forcing you into a decision between bare-bones work truck functionality and off-road capability, with very little in between. The base work truck trim is a genuinely stripped-down offering clearly targeting fleet buyers. You're getting vinyl seats, minimal technology, and an interior that prioritizes durability over comfort. Moving up the range, you're quickly entering off-road territory with the Trail Boss and ZR2 variants. These models are adding lifted suspension, skid plates, and aggressive styling that appeals to weekend adventurers but comes with ride quality compromises. What's notably absent is a comfort-oriented luxury trim that competes with models like the Tacoma Limited or Ranger Lariat. There's no Colorado variant offering heated and cooled leather seats, premium audio systems, and advanced driver assistance as standard equipment in a package that prioritizes on-road refinement. Think about the buyer who wants a nice truck for daily driving and occasional weekend projects. You want comfortable seats for long commutes, good technology, and a quiet cabin. With the Colorado, you're essentially required to pay for off-road hardware you might never use just to get those comfort features, or you're stuck in a bare-bones work truck that feels outdated. The competition understands that truck buyers have diverse needs, offering trim levels that cater to everyone from hardcore off-roaders to comfort-focused daily drivers. The Colorado's narrow lineup is leaving significant portions of the market underserved. The Colorado delivers respectable performance and off-road capability, but these 6 problems paint a picture of a truck that's asking buyers to accept too many compromises. From accelerated depreciation that costs you thousands to a cramped cabin that punishes passengers, from a short bed-only configuration that limits real work capability to a single powertrain that doesn't fit every buyer's needs, the Colorado is forcing you into corners that competitors simply don't. Add mounting reliability concerns at a limited trim range, and you're looking at a truck that might serve GM's strategy but doesn't necessarily serve your best interests. The Tacoma, Ranger, Gladiator, and Ridgeline are all addressing these pain points with more flexible configurations, better space management, and stronger long-term value. But don't think that the aforementioned trucks are flawless. They are vulnerable in many ways as well. If you're considering the super popular Toyota Tacoma, make sure to check out our next video about its main issues. Toyota's pickup definitely has a lot of strengths, but it comes with several major concerns as well.